Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Geopolitics with Mark. On this episode, I'd like to analyze the Iran war with Israel and kind of do a little bit of a a little bit of a prediction for what Iran is going to do to Israel. I don't know how to explain this exactly, but I have this, you know, a kind of a feeling that it's reached a critical juncture where Iran is, you know, tired of being attacked and, you know, have its waterways blocked. Um, Basically, this whole it's longer than that. It's like it's been going on for I don't know decades. I should start there. I mean, decades of sanctions that have, caused a lot of suffering for the Iranian economy. And basically, what Iran is trying to do now is shut down the state of Israel. In my view, with all the attacks, if Israel launches another attack against Iran, Iran's plan will be to aim at the infrastructure of Israel, the power plants, and basically that will take the whole country offline. Imagine trying to run a country of millions of people and there's no power to be gotten anywhere except for people that have generators and things like that, which is totally unpractical. So I think it could get pretty serious. Um, I would, if I were advising Europe, if I were advising Israel, I would tell them to be prepared um, to strike a deal with the Iranians to evacuate the population. Basically, as have some kind of like lifeline phone where it's like, okay, look, we're gonna just evacuate the population. Basically emptying Israel and bringing those European Jews, Israelis back to Europe, but most likely back to North America because Europe's economy is in crisis. Though um, I think for like emotional reasons and sort of like dealing with the past and like coming to catharsis over history, coming back to Europe and getting reparations out of Europe, getting resettled into Europe is the best move. However, I think that's going to take a longer amount of time. And in the meantime, North America is wide open and has a better chance of hosting an influx of millions of people than Europe does at this stage. So, anyway, guys, that's just a quick analysis that Iran is really serious and um, their ability to shut down Israel is there without using any kind of devastating nuclear weapons or anything like that. They just have to aim at the infrastructure that'll provide electricity to Israel. And, that will be basically, it's technically a war crime. However, it would be in response to what the U.S. has already done to Iran. I think Iran has built up credit in terms of war crime because if you remember on the opening attack of the war, they blew up a school full of girls, hitting it with two Tomahawk missiles, like which is really crazy. Which is a war crime, and I think we've targeted their electric plants as well. So basically, when you look at the war crimes, if you line it up with what Israel has done to Iran and what Iran has done to Israel, Iran has been very restrained. They've targeted only military targets, and whereas Israel has been attacking indiscriminately into civilian population, and with the help of the U.S. And so this is my prediction. My prediction is they're going to be like, okay, you know what? We're sick of this. They're going to aim the weapons at the power plants, and that'll be the end. And at that point, you'll have a mass exodus of the population. only very few, only small amounts of people would stay back that would have the ability to survive in darkness. They'd have their own generators or something, and maybe they live out in the country anyway. They farm their own stuff. But even so, I think what would end up happening is Israel would get overrun. It would get occupied militarily, and so yeah. Anyway, guys, that's my update based on my sense of the time that we're at, and you know, see you in the next episode of Geopolitics with Mark, where we may pick up the topic of Europe building up an army, which is it's a little bit late, in my opinion, that they're going to try to build up an army now to take on Russia, or that too. Again, all these things could be avoided if Trump went to China and basically had a long diplomatic Congress with their government leadership, our best government leaders, diplomats, who are merit-based appointments, not just like people that got put into Congress to push paper. So I think, that's really what I would like to see at this stage for the whole for all these major conflicts, is America going to China and resolving the issue from there for an extended basis. Calling China on the phone is a great start, but really what's needed is a longer term, a demonstrable diplomatic, effort, where it's just like a major push for diplomacy, which will last months, if not a year or more, to figure out how do you get through all these global issues that China and America could really figure out together, putting the world on a more stable path. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and can't wait to see you in another episode of Geopolitics with Mark.